One of the coolest things about Bluey is definitely the stories and theories related to the show. Did you know that throughout the 3 seasons of the series, several theories created a long time ago by fans have proven to be pure truth? McKenzie marries Bluey. Starting with the most recent of the theories that we saw become reality was the fact that Bluey and McKenzie, her classmate, were going to get married. And, to tell the truth, even though us fans had this theory since the episode Bat, when the blue pup dreams about the border collie, even before he was officially introduced to the show. The truth is that the first prophet to announce the marriage of the 2 characters was none other than Little Winton in the episode Barky Boats.
What is it? Ooh, Bluey's gonna marry Kenzie. No, I'm not.
And then the same prophecy ended up being reinforced by Calypso, who from what we see in the show might even possess some magical powers. As when telling the story of the little boats, in fact, the children's teacher is predicting what Bluey and Mackenzie's future will be like. And if you pay attention, you'll see that in the end the boats touch each other as if it were a kiss. For many, this was the main symbol that in the future, the 2 characters would be together and married. And at the end of the episode, surprise, we see that it's all reality, since the little puppy who is about to hunt his own grandfather is practically a copy of little Mackenzie, even having the same folded ear as him, except instead of black, the puppy inherited the colors of the purple spots from the mommy who is a blue healer, making it clear that at some point in the future, it's a fact that the 2 little friends will finally get married and start their family together, as all of us, except Jean-Luc's fans, hoped. So, this was really a theory that became pure reality in Bluey. Grandpa Bob is alive. Another theory that turned out to be true involves the oldest patriarch of the Healer family, Grandpa Bob. We were introduced to the character in the first season in the episode Granny's, where we saw him alongside his wife performing a dance routine, and after that, Grandpa simply disappeared, only reappearing in Bandit's flashbacks in the episode Fairy Tale, as he remembers his childhood with his siblings. For this reason, many considered that he might even have passed away, but the show wouldn't address the subject because it's too delicate. But another theory always followed the line that he was alive, mainly based on the scene that happens in the episode The Dump, when we see innocent Bingo saying a prayer for Grandpa Bob before bed, wherever he might be.
Good night, Missy. Good night, Leela. Good night, Grandpa Bob, wherever you are.
Proving that he was indeed alive, just in a place far from everyone. And that was indeed the truth, as in the sign at Radley's wedding party, he is present. After all, it was one of his children's marriage, and he couldn't miss that. Thank goodness, because I always hoped he would show up. Radley and Frisky's wedding. This is one of the theories that fans of the show were eagerly hoping would happen, especially after the 28-minute episode was announced. In fact, long before that, some enthusiasts had already started creating images of what the wedding of the 2 characters would look like, which turned out to be excellent. And finally, when the episode The Sign was released, we had as the main event the wedding and everything that happened before, during, and after, which ended up contributing to Bandit finally deciding to throw the for sale sign away and the Healer family remaining in their good old home for many, many years. As we saw in the end of the episode Surprise, where adult Bluey hears her mother mentioning that Bluey's father almost sold the house in the past. And to not leave those who go straight to the comments before watching the video confused, let's play a game. Comment below, #surprise, Bandit and work. And the funniest thing is that all of this is totally related to another theory that also turned out to be true. The most dedicated fans of Bluey's show noticed that in the episode Stickbird, the girl's dad spent most of the time extremely pensive and totally distant from the family. At that moment, many began to speculate what could have made the blue pup's dad be like that. That's when a theory emerged that the Healer family was having problems, but it wasn't known for sure what kind of problems they were. But the biggest possibility was always something related to work. And as the season progressed, it became clear, especially when we watched the episode Ghost Basket, that the reason for this would indeed be the family's permanent departure from Brisbane and maybe even from Australia. The most interesting thing is that we didn't even imagine, but all of this started in the episode Curry Quest, where we see the girl's dad spend 6 weeks on a work trip. We believe that this trip not only helped the archaeologist Bandit locate the bones of the first dog to walk on 2 legs, but also ended up generating the job offer that Bandit accepted and made him decide to sell the Healer family's house. So, whoever said that Bandit would have family problems to solve never imagined that it would have such an emotional ending as the one we saw. Bluey is a rainbow baby. Now, let's talk about the oldest theory of Bluey fans that proved to be true long before the end of the 3rd season. It all started with the episode The Show, in which we see the balloon representing Chili's first pregnancy burst, and this was followed by a strange silence. At that moment, Bandit put his hand over Chili's, and it became clear that it was a sensitive subject for the family, indicating that Bluey wasn't the first healer baby, but the second. Because the couple would have conceived a first pup, but Bluey's mom had a miscarriage and the baby would have died. The definitive proof of this theory happened in the episode Rain. At the end, when the series protagonist, alongside her mother, watches together at the end of the rain a double rainbow, proving that Bluey really was a rainbow baby, which are those babies born after a couple has had difficulties having the first child. So, this is another theory that was 100% proven throughout the series. Brandy would have a baby! In addition to Chili, at some point we meet another member of the family on Bluey's mom's side, Aunt Brandy. In the episode Onesies, she appears after spending 4 years without visiting her younger sister. And throughout the show, we find out, when Bingo distances herself from her aunt, that the biggest dream of the girl's aunt would be to be a mother, but she couldn't, for some unknown health reason. Since then, the theory emerged that at some point Brandy would be able to have her dream baby. The theory stated that this would probably happen at the end of the 3rd season, or even in the 4th, which proved to be pure reality, as everyone who watched the episode The Sign saw that the theory proved to be real and happened. We just need to see how this little pup will be in action, which will surely happen in the 4th season. Difficulty getting pregnant. Let's talk about a theory that existed since the beginning of the series, which claimed that the show would bring up the theme of fertility problems. Because, few people know, but in the real world, both the blue healer and red healer species, which are color variations of the same species, have difficulty actually having puppies, and cases of stillbirths are very common. So, as we talked about in the previous 2 theories, it is clear that the females of the family have a fertility and pregnancy problem, and one theory indicated that not only Chili and Brandy suffer from this problem. In the episode Surprise, we see that Bingo plays being a mother, and she has nothing less than 4 puppies, which indicates that the little caramel-colored pup has a great desire to be a mother. And at the end of the episode, we see that Bluey has a puppy, but Bingo apparently hasn't, further reinforcing the theory that the difficulty in having babies in Chili's family seems to be genetic. So, if you've made it this far, it means you're enjoying the video. I think we deserve your subscription if you're not subscribed yet. Cornelius and the hot dog. This is now one of the theories that has accompanied the romantic life saga of Cornelius that we followed throughout the Bluey show. We saw throughout several episodes that Winton's dad had romantic encounters in the park, girlfriends with whom he had ice cream, and even was at the airport waiting for someone very important. And in the episode where the healer family goes to the supermarket, we see the bulldog dad passing with Winton and holding 2 hot dogs, one for him and one for someone else, who would be his future loved one. And a little later in one of Bluey's illustrated books, we see him handing the snack to none other than the terrier's mother. And at the end of the episode The Sign, we see the couple moving in together, so much so that Cornelius puts his house up for sale, which is what actually ends up saving the healer family in the end, proving that he spent all this time saving, in quotes of course, a hot dog to give to the woman of his life. Stripe and Trixie have troubles. Now, let's talk about a theory that arose during the episode Facey Talk, when Bluey and Bingo's little cousin ends up invading the bathroom. Right after that, we see the two starting to argue about how to take care of the children. And the theory that the couple has problems was finally confirmed in the episode The Sign, where we see them at various times arguing, both inside the healer's house while organizing the wedding, as well as after Stripe ends up catching the flower bouquet as well. And after that, another theory was created. This one hasn't been confirmed yet, that the couple might divorce at some point in the future. Let's wait and see. Frisky's pregnancy. And now the final theory that few realized came true, but we noticed. Many always theorized that Radley and Frisky would have a baby. And if you didn't notice, when Chili and her childhood friend are alone on the stairs of the house, Bluey's mother says she can't believe it. It's not explicit, but we understand that Bandit's sister-in-law is telling her friend that she's expecting a little pup from Radley, thus confirming another theory in Bluey. Since you're a fan of cartoons, check out these videos that are popping up for you now. They were selected exclusively for you. Just click on your preference. See you in the next video!